Welcome back to the Last Week This Week podcast, episode 46, right? Is that right? Yeah.
46.
Getting close to 50. That's kind of exciting.
It's kind of scary if you're actually living.
I guess. But I'm Ian Scott.
And I'm his co-host, Zack Huber.
And this is the podcast where we talk about all the nerd topics from the last week and this week. And this last week, we had the Super Bowl Sunday, and a ton of trailers came out from that. So we're going to talk about a ton of trailers.
Ton of trailers.
Yeah.
And a ton of really cool news. Because I got to admit, we didn't think we were going to be able to record today. And, I'm not going to lie. I was kind of bummed out because this is probably the most excited I've been about some topics
for sure
in a while. So
yeah, I totally agree.
But if you're watching this, links in the bio. There'll be time codes you could jump to if you're listening to it.
Links to our social medias.
All
that good stuff.
We're gonna talk about all the trailers that we found interesting from the Super Bowl, plus some announcements that were made. Yeah. And I think the biggest one we'll start with first, which was on Valentine's Day. Marvel decided to, for all the audio listeners, Ian's just raising 4 fingers up into the air slowly like a creep. They did a little Valentine's Day post, and it was a very cool way to announce the cast of said Fantastic Four.
Unexpected. Yeah.
So it was drawn like a comic page from the 60s, and it said Happy Valentine's Day at the top, and then at the bottom we got Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, which we had all kind of expect.
Well, yeah, I mean the leaks for this cast came out like 4 months ago, or 3 months ago maybe. Yeah
but we've gone through so many different possible castings. I think at one point we were saying like Adam Driver or like the guy from You was going to be Pedro Pascal, and
that would have been cool. I would have honestly preferred Adam Driver over Pedro Pascal. But
I don't know. I think I would prefer the Pedro Pascal, to be honest.
Interesting.
Because Adam Driver, I kind of want Reed Richards to be
an older guy already, right? Right. Yeah. So, I mean, Adam Driver is probably early 40s now, maybe late 30s, but
but he still gives off like
a younger vibe.
Yeah. Then we got Vanessa Kirby, who, to be fair, I'm not super familiar with her work,
but she looks exactly the part.
She looks great.
Yeah.
We got Joseph Quinn, who
recently
a lot of
broke
people
out Stranger
know
Things,
is Eddie Munson in Stranger Things. I'm very excited about that. And then lastly, I feel like I'm gonna butcher his name. It's
if I have it in front of me, then I can say it.
The guy from The Bear who just won his Emmy for he
was also in The Punisher. If you ever saw The Punisher.
Yes, I heard. Yeah, I heard he was in The Punisher. I heard he was in one other thing that was really quite good, but.
I'm gonna try and pronounce his name. It's Ebon Moss-Bachrach.
Yes.
Yeah.
And from everything that I've heard, I've not seen The Bear yet, but everything I've heard, he's people are like, great choice, great choice. Nice. So, and it's cool. You kind of see him as an astronaut in the back.
Yeah, in the background. Yeah, I like that.
And it's all drawn, and there are costumes, and
that's what was so nice.
The little magazine, the Time magazine that the Thing is reading is from the 60s.
Yeah, they actually were able to pinpoint that was from 1963, that issue.
Yeah.
So possibly taking place in 1963.
Possibly. And, I think it's cool because the Fantastic Four came out in the 60s. We even got another post from Marvel that showed it's the Fantastic Four. They have the Cinerama type lettering for Marvel, which to me indicates at least some amount of this movie will be taking place in the 60s.
I think most.
You think most?
What's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be like a Captain America situation where something happens towards the end of the movie that like pulls them in to the present day timeline. I don't think like we're gonna see them go throughout like the years or whatever. I think it's just gonna be like they get pulled from the 60s to now. And I don't know how that's possible. I mean, time travel was in Loki. But yeah, I think that is the most likely of scenarios.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going into space, that you could have some sort of, interstellar sort of time problem. We've already, obviously the multiverse is a huge part of going into all these new phases. So it could be something to do with that. I know one theory was that we thought we were going to see them, that they were pulled into the quantum realm in Quantumania. We were going to see a bit of them. Like they were these like great astronauts. There were these cool figures from the 60s. We don't even know about the 60s in Marvel. We just know like the furthest we've gone back is technically the 70s with
the 40s.
When was the 40s?
Captain America.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So we got some of the 40s, but like besides that,
also Agent Carter.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
But for the most, but like that was a very singular like World War II sort of,
Sure.
Like the furthest we've gone back is very briefly the 70s, in like Guardians of the Galaxy and Endgame and a bit of Ant-Man. So
well, but here's the thing: we've also gone back to now in Echo, like the Native American people underground. So that was like thousands of years ago.
But I'm talking about like, I'm talking about like, actually what the world was like, and So, I don't know what I was necessarily going to say other than we wouldn't have any reason to actually know about them. And the theory was that they got pulled out. They were from the 60s. They got pulled out. They've been lost, and then they'll show up in the present day. So I feel like there's without a doubt a feeling that they're still going to show up in the present day somehow, and they will have not have aged. Like we're not going to catch up with them in the 60s, and then they're significantly older. I
do think the problem there though is that like out of this entire time of this universe and there being this many superheroes, like how has no one ever mentioned the Fantastic Four? Like, I mean, the only mention we ever got of it was Multiverse of Madness, and that's because Reed Richards was there, So yeah, I don't know. It leaves a little bit of a plot hole for me, at least.
Sure. Yeah. Hopefully it'll be done in a way that we go, okay, yeah, all right, I buy it, you know. But I also have a question to pose, which is, what if they are from the universe that Monica Rambeau goes to at the end of the Marvels?
It's funny. I actually did watch that this past week. And my question to that was, I think more so that is like maybe the universe that is being pruned in like Deadpool 3, which we'll get to later.
Sure.
So I don't necessarily think that's the universe Fantastic Four is in. I think that's where like the original Fantastic Four is in, if they're gonna be in a universe. But yeah, I don't think that's necessarily the track they would go. I mean, maybe it is. I don't know, but doesn't seem like a logical like two-step, right?
Right. Well, I personally think the cast is pretty sick, and I'm super excited. I think the idea of being able to see what the Marvel universe is in the 60s could be very, very cool.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I think there's been a lot of pieces that have been written that are like saying Pedro Pascal has the ability to be the Robert Downey Jr. of this new part of the MCU. And
I don't know about that.
To their point, I think
the role is big enough.
The role is big enough, and I think there's a possibility that could be the case, because the movies desperately need a face, and I think if you get, Reed Richards is a big enough character to base that around, and I think Pedro Pascal is a good enough actor to base that around, and I'm hoping once we get some more mutants that it'll be like Reed Richards and like whatever face they want to put, as the lead mutant,
Yeah. No, I feel that.
Like we kind of need that like Steve Rogers, Tony Stark sort of.
I guess I was hoping, and I think they were going down the direction at one point of like making Benedict Cumberbatch like that guy.
I just don't see that,
I can't see him wanting to do that many movies, Like, yeah, I think he does like Doctor Strange.
But also like Doctor Strange as a character, like he's not.
Well, yeah, but it's not like Iron Man was like insanely popular when Iron Man came out,
He was insanely popular when Iron Man came out.
He wasn't. I mean, he was not one of like the top selling comics. I mean, he was never, Iron Man was never as big as like Spider-Man and the Hulk.
No,
he was never like that.
I'm talking about the movie.
No, yeah.
The movie was like everybody.
No, yeah, I'm just saying like before Iron Man came out, the character of Iron Man like wasn't like a super popular character.
Right, but I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying like Stephen Strange, as we know in his movie so far, not anywhere near that level of popularity.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give you that.
But anyways, I think it's great. I think the casting's great.
I do agree. I think the casting is great. I'm not gonna completely shit on Pedro Pascal. Like I'm gonna see his performance before I say he's a horrible casting choice. I know a lot of people aren't happy with Joseph Quinn, but I mean, I haven't seen him act in anything. And I know he's not like the traditional like pretty boy that like Johnny Storm is.
I mean, I think he's pretty.
I think he is, but like compared to Chris Evans, I'm not sure like he's like that, like your classic pretty boy. But yeah, no, I mean, I think he's like he's gonna work enough. I think from what I've seen of like Eddie from Stranger Things, it's like a very young and like kind of not cocky, but like just kind of like very outgoing. And I think that's kind of what Johnny is, and I think it's gonna translate well. But yeah, I don't really have a problem with any of the cast, to be completely honest. So
yeah, and I mean, to be honest, I think a lot of the criticism for Pedro Pascal being cast is very frustrating in my opinion, because I feel like a lot of it's not necessarily based on his acting. It's like based off of what he looks like, and I just think Reed Richards has looked a lot of different ways.
I think that's half of it for me, though.
And I think he's going to be great, and I think he's going to look great.
I just think Pedro has to act a different way than I've ever seen him act for this role, which I think he'll be able to pull off. But I think it's a newer character for him. So
I mean, we got like Oberyn, and then we get Joel.
Sure.
And I think those are two very different characters, and he did them extremely well.
No, yeah, I agree. Like he has a range. We just haven't seen him. I think that's why everyone's so like, iffy about it, is because he's not your traditional Reed Richards type, like acting wise or looks wise. So
I guess, yeah, but like we could say the same thing about Heath Ledger before he was the Joker.
Sure.
And we could say the same thing about Ben Affleck before he was Batman.
Yeah.
And I just
agree.
think
There's a lot of roles like that.
Eat their words.
I think you're right. I do. I think I don't know. I maybe I have misplaced faith in this project. Maybe I just faithfully like want it to be good, but like, I'm just like, well, I'm sure it'll be great, but I'm like, well, Marvel hasn't put out like a lot of great stuff recently. So,
but I think that's going to change with the fact that Kevin Feige is back in control. They're rewriting things like Captain America 4, doing extensive reshoots,
basically doing another shoot, 3 months of shooting. Yeah.
We're getting something like X-Men 97, which we're going to talk about. We're getting Deadpool.
Yep.
We're seemingly having things being cut back. So I think there's like a quality control that's going to be shown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a movie being made after all the changes at Marvel. So, maybe that's for the best.
And to be honest, like the fact that like how the whole presentation, the announcement came, which was just so cool and interesting.
Yeah.
That they like, it just makes me think that there's a lot of cool ideas coming about. And also Matt Shackman, he did WandaVision.
Yeah.
He directed.
So he can do a period piece for sure.
For sure. And he also did like 2 episodes. He set the tone for like Monarch. And those 2 episodes were bomb.
Yeah.
So he's great. And then I forget the writers, but they also did some really good stuff. So I think it's, and also like Pedro Pascal at like the height arguably of his career. Like
sure. I mean, that's going to get people into the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think all around, pretty good announcement, pretty good artwork, pretty great outfits that they showed.
Do you think they're going to wear those outfits?
I kind of hope. I mean, they look good.
Think?
I like them. Maybe they're their first outfits,
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I think
that's pretty possible.
Okay. That'd be
I think the logo is for sure sticking around.
Like the twirly kind of words.
The 4. No, I mean like the 4 is like a little rounded, has a line going throughout it.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. I think it's a lot more original than like what we were first shown for the Fantastic Four announcement.
Or what if I mean, I guess they would probably stay in the present day, but like, what if? Because like it would be kind of cool if they like we're like, oh, we're from the '60s, and then they go to present day, and then they're like, well, we did all that stuff for Secret Wars. Let's get back to our own time.
That'd be neat. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I'm sure they could write it in a way to where that works. Yeah,
because maybe it works best in the '60s. Who knows?
It might. Yeah, but Captain America worked great in the '40s, and then he worked even better in modern day. So
yeah, no, it's true, and they're not going to do that. They're not going to keep it as a period piece. But I do think it's interesting that we're getting this most likely as a period piece, and then we get Blade as a period piece too.
Yeah, I like it.
Keep
doing
too.
Period pieces. Yeah. Well, I say we move on to the trailers. Starting with the biggest one of all.
Yeah.
The Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh my God.
Pretty badass. I was so bummed that they showed only like 30 seconds during the Super Bowl. I was like, okay, I'm pulling this out of my phone right now.
Oh yeah. And as soon as it happened, I was like, Hannah. I was like, they're playing the Deadpool trailer. And then I was like, oh, it's only that. Okay. Went on my phone. I couldn't find it anywhere. And we were just like,
yeah, what's funny is that like I follow the like Discussing Films like Twitter account, and I get notifications, and so I got it like a minute before the trailer showed on TV, and I was like,
how they do that?
I was like, what? How is it out? And I was like, okay, I guess I'll pull it up, and then it came up on TV. I was like, yeah. So no, yeah, I think clearly like Super Bowl ads are like $7-8 million now.
Yeah, they're
not gonna go over 30 seconds, but
And they can't do that trailer on national TV.
Yeah.
They cannot. Right. They can't.
Yeah. Well, the international trailer switched that pegging line to R-rated. So
okay.
So they could do some stuff, But let's get into the trailer because this thing was fucking amazing, honestly.
Also broke the record for most viewed in 24 hours.
So they did add in the Super Bowl count, which was 123 million viewers. So I don't know if it really counts because that was only 30 seconds. But I mean, like it does count since they're counting it. So
it's still so big.
Yeah, it's pretty huge. So this trailer starts immediately off in the kind of like post or aftermath of Deadpool 2, where he did all the time travel, got all his friends back. All his friends are alive. His wife is alive. And then
his
the TVA,
wife with him anymore? Did you notice she was like, "Happy birthday, buddy," and I was like, "Oh, is everything okay at home?"
Interesting.
I don't know.
I like that you read so much into that. But yeah, so he gets a knock on the door and TVA is there. And here's the thing I noticed. The TVA looks a bit different.
Yeah, a little different.
Yeah, no, I mean they're much more armored than they used to be. You have and then you have Tom Wamsgans, the actor who plays him as the main TVA guy.
Yeah, you get Matthew McFadden.
Yeah.
Whatever.
McFadden, yeah.
So he went from Gojo. He did a Gojo deal, head of Waystar, and now he's the head of the TVA.
Yeah, it's the same guy, and he changed his accent and everything.
Yeah. It's still Tom. We're still gonna find out that it's Tom.
Yeah. No, but I like it. It's a little different. I think like most things in the TVA are just like a little different than they were in Loki, but it's not a drastic change. I think it's meant to make them more menacing and like kind of a bad guy against Deadpool. But yeah, I think making it so that the TVA pulls him in to this universe and is using him, I think is it like makes so much sense for this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, before that, the fact that we get a direct first joke out of the gate is towards Disney.
Yeah, that was surprising.
Crucial, because if it wasn't
straight to the camera,
we need it. Secondly, the great thing about this trailer, I think, with the regards to like the TVA and the wider MCU is you don't have to watch Loki. You don't have to watch really any of the other Marvel movies or Marvel projects to watch this, because we're Deadpool and we're like, what's this weird organization that's bringing me in?
I mean, I don't even think you have to like watch the first two Deadpools to get this. Like, I think in a sense, if you maybe just watched like one Deadpool movie and one like X-Men / Wolverine movie, you get it. Like, this is just like, that's what it is.
Right. But I think the thing that makes me happy is there's, Multiverse of Madness. You kind of had to watch WandaVision. You definitely had to watch like Miss Marvel and WandaVision, it would seem, to even watch the Marvels, because you'd be like, who the hell are these characters?
Right.
But this one just seems so like flawless, and the fact that like we're getting fourth wall breaks, and it's like we're like talking about the MCU, and then he's like, I'm Marvel's Jesus, which could be true. And
yeah
and what like we get, which like a lot of theories have been coming out about like the stuff that we saw, like he is definitely in the forest where Age of Ultron starts off.
For sure. Like,
without a doubt.
Yeah.
And there's been a theory that the Void is where Battle World will take place for Secret Wars. And the more that I'm like, that's definitely happening. That's definitely how this is going to go down. And I love it. I think it's a great idea.
They were also like, people were speculating that like one of the scenes, I can't remember like what exactly it was in the trailer, but was it the end of time or whatever that like the TVA sends like people to?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it's called? Oh, okay. Then we're talking about the same thing. But yeah, they were thinking that that's like, they were seeing some things in the background that kind of like made it feel like maybe it was the like the 20th Century Fox universe had been like entirely pruned to the end of time.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's very possible. Yeah, I think that's a logical step for the TVA to make. So, yeah.
True. Very true. It could get so fucking meta.
Yeah, it could. And then you have the like all the action in this trailer, which is again incredible Deadpool action.
Yeah.
It's a pretty flawless trailer, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, besides the fact, and I mean, I think it was good because next trailer you're definitely going to be able to see Wolverine.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to freak out when that happens. So in a way, like, even though I wanted it really bad to see him, it's probably best that they didn't, and they keep the momentum and the hype going.
Oh, did you also see the character from the X-Men movies that we got to see in the trailer?
Yeah, Pyro.
Yeah, I was like, Pyro's here. Holy shit, that's amazing. So yeah, I think we're definitely getting like most of the X-Men cast back.
Yeah,
I think that's incredible. I'm so happy about that.
And and I know people were thinking like maybe that bald person was Professor X's evil twin sister, which could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
People are also like, oh my God, is that Doctor Doom? That's not Doctor Doom.
Did you also see people speculating the person who's sitting at the table who had like the Wolverine type haircut?
Yeah.
They're thinking that's like Daniel Radcliffe as like a Wolverine character.
I saw that, but from what I understand, like that's Wolverine's alias, like his like character when he goes to Madripoor, and his name is Patch.
Interesting. Okay.
Which could very well be the case. And if they have him go to Madripoor, I think that would be cool. That'd be.
I would
cool.
love to see Wolverine in Madripoor. That'd be amazing. That's where I want the game to take place. Basically, the game that's going to be coming out in a couple
and apparently,
years.
like Madripoor is a really important place. Like a really that's kind of like where I think he got like introduced, and like a lot of Wolverine.
It's very significant for Wolverine.
There, so I think it'll probably most definitely happen.
I would love that. And then there was also that shot of like a Deadpool type character, like he was wearing, or they were wearing like the gloves and the red sleeves, but they were holding these two submachine guns. They're thinking that like wouldn't be Deadpool, like that's not his usual weapon of choice. So they're thinking that's a lady Deadpool, which could be played by his wife, I think Blake Lively, right? Yeah.
Oh, that would be funny.
Right? Yeah.
I was thinking like
his
Vanessa.
actual Vanessa. Right. No, yeah, that would be good too. I'd be down for that.
How much do you want to make a bet that there's some sort of Kingpin like Vanessa, sort of joke in Deadpool 3?
I'm sure. Because now they're in that universe. Yeah. That'd be fun to see even like Fisk in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, why are they at the forest from Age of Ultron? I have a theory.
Why would they be? Because that is where maybe that's the start of how the Avengers break up. Maybe that's why. And that's what leads to Thanos kind of getting control and winning in Infinity War.
Could be. Mm-hmm. Or where do we meet characters for the first time?
Sure, Quicksilver and Wanda, Scarlet Witch are right there.
And we think that they're miracles, but maybe we actually find out that they're mutants. And maybe Deadpool had something to do with it.
Sure, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. How cool would it be to like maybe even bring like Magneto with you and like for him to meet his kids or something? I don't even know how Magneto gets into the story. I'm sure he'll be in it, maybe. If Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart want to come back again. But yeah, I think there's so many turns this movie could go, and we're seeing like 5% of it. Like I think most of the trailer we saw was like from the first half hour. So
probably
that's very exciting. I honestly am scared to watch another trailer when it comes out. Because I think it might show too much, but we'll see. I am deliriously excited for this. Same. We only got to wait 6 months.
Well, that's awesome. And I think the marketing campaign is going to be insane. I mean, you already have like Hugh Jackman being like, it's Wolverine, an asshole.
Right.
And I'm just like, this is perfect. And the best friends locket. It's just so good.
It's good. Yeah. I'm very excited. So that's July 26th, I think.
Yeah.
What, July? That's a good. Oh, my bad. I was thinking of next July because that also has Superman and Fantastic Four.
Oh, I forgot to say. Do we think that these X-Men characters are the X-Men 97? Because they can't continue on. They cannot, like, Hugh Jackman and all the X-Men cast that they're going to bring back, it cannot stay.
I think the ones that survive this movie are going to be in Secret Wars. Basically, I heard a report today that, like, Kevin Feige had already planned to have, like, Ryan Reynolds come back for Deadpool, like, as Deadpool in Secret Wars, and for, like, Hugh Jackman to return as Wolverine in Secret Wars. but now that like the movie's testing like so strongly that he might even like pull them into Kang Dynasty.
So I feel like we gotta have new X-Men. You know what I mean?
I think the new X-Men are after everything. I think they're maybe they get introduced in Secret Wars, but I think my prediction is that they get introduced after Phase 6.
Because I don't know if you keep Hugh Jackman for that.
For like Secret Wars? I mean, it sounds like Kevin Feige's already planned to bring him back for that. So maybe he's already committed. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's
he already had his like swan song with Logan. He was like, "That's it."
Yeah, but then he was like, "Out of nowhere, you know, like, hey, I'm very much down to do this."
I feel like because it's like it's
fun and with his friend and right, yeah, right. No, I get you. But he, you know, I think he is more of a fan of this like MCU than he was of like the 20th Century Fox universe that was being built or whatever. And like, you know, like at one point he had like posted a photo with him and Kevin Feige and was like, I don't remember what the caption was, but it was very like teaser-ish, like of him coming to the MCU. And I was like, I don't know, maybe he's more of a fan of this world than the last. So I don't know.
I feel like there's no way that he's more of a fan of like the MCU than like his original, you know, where he came from.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. I think if X-Men like Last Stand was handled better, that whole universe might have shaped up better. But
yeah,
I don't know. That's a lot of history ago. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts on this one.
Yeah.
Well, next, a little change of pace. I think is this Disney again?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all. That's the only thing we talk about.
Yeah. But yeah, we got a trailer for Wicked. Basically, this is a movie based on the play Wicked.
Yeah. Well, actually, the book.
Oh, okay. So it was a book and then a play.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the trailer. I mean, obviously, it was like a beautiful looking trailer.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, I think
so pretty.
I think it's almost like, is that weird? It might be weird to say. It's almost like too pretty, in a sense, because here's the thing.
It can't be not too pretty.
The thing is that like with these heavily overproduced movies, like I feel like it's a 50-50 if they're gonna be like good or bad. I mean, maybe even worse odds than that. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. They definitely tried to hide the fact that this is a musical. I don't think there was like one singing part except the last like 2 seconds of the trailer. So
yeah, but like to be fair, like there weren't a lot of like for in the maybe not necessarily in the Heights, but like West Side Story and some other like musicals that have come out, like the trailers would, and this is just a teaser by the way. It was
like a minute long.
So they would have dance numbers and stuff, but like there was more talking parts than singing parts. So like I don't know if I'm gonna say that they're like trying to hide it. The thing is though
is that they are calling this movie a musical, you know?
Oh yeah, so 100% a musical.
Well, so then I think you have to show in at least like 10 seconds of this trailer that this is clearly a musical. Like, I don't think I ever really got that.
I think you will know that it's a musical. And
I'm just saying this is the train Hollywood's been going in, you know?
What?
Where they false advertise on musicals. It was just done with the Mean Girls musical movie. You know, like a lot, like 20% of audiences, like around that number, went into the theaters not knowing it was a musical.
Yes, but if you don't know that Wicked is a musical by now, I don't know what to tell you. You know,
sure, I guess, yeah.
You know, like Mean Girls, I understand, and that that's kind of. But I didn't know that was a musical.
I think you could adapt Wicked into a non-musical. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that.
You shouldn't.
Yeah,
you shouldn't.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed. This is part 1 Wicked. They're doing a part 2 as well.
Well, that's frustrating. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, apparently I was reading some people's thoughts online, and they were saying bold move because the second half of the play is not good. So, and I was like, interesting.
That is not true.
So you've seen Wicked the play?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The hell are they talking about?
I don't know.
No,
good question.
it's great.
Well, you're more of a musical guy than I am. But
that's true. And you know what? It's crazy. You know, you told me Chicago's like such
oh man,
it's the worst thing you've ever seen.
It's one of the worst things, yeah, for sure.
Since I brought that up, like Hannah and other people have been like, no, Chicago's really good. And I was like, and I trust their opinion. And I'm like, all right, I gotta watch Chicago and see what the hell Ian's talking about.
It was really bad, Zach. Maybe the actual play is better. I don't know, but the movie I did not enjoy at all. Okay. So yeah.
Well, I thought that the trailer looked amazing, and
for sure.
and I heard from like the CinemaCon presentation that they did last year that there was a shot where all you saw were like thousands and millions of roses. All real. They brought like millions of roses and flowers onto set.
That's a good sign because a lot of this trailer didn't look necessarily real.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I thought it looked incredible. And the story, it goes before The Wizard of Oz and then after The Wizard of Oz. And
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And so it is the entire journey of...
Did they show the actress of Dorothy at all in this trailer?
Just very briefly, like the original.
But it's more about like the witches and the Wicked Witch of the East and
Belinda.
Belinda. Okay. Yeah. I think it's an interesting choice, Ariana Grande. I mean, obviously she can sing, so it's a good choice for that.
But you know how like Kat in Victorious is very like, I like bubbly and like kind of ditzy. Like Belinda's not entirely that, but like when you see the Wicked play, like she's very,
like a happy-go-lucky person, or
happy-go-lucky, and also like kind of like the popular girl. Like she's the popular girl.
Right.
And then Wicked Witch of the East, which I can't remember what her actual name is more of like the nerdy, bookish girl. And then it's about their friend, like their relationship. Okay. And also there's a lot of stuff in Wicked that is very political, which you wouldn't have guessed. And it's really good. Right. It's a really good story. And you kind of even feel empathetic towards the Wicked Witch of the East, which like I was like, okay, I did not,
I think they kind of took a similar approach in that. Do you remember that prequel they put out with James Franco and Mila Kunis? For Wizard of Oz. Like they put out a Wizard of Oz prequel.
No.
I think it was just called Oz the Great and Powerful.
Yeah.
And Mila Kunis was the witch. She became the witch throughout the movie. Yeah, I think they made a kind of sympathetic kind of story about her, but I'm struggling to remember that, like the plot of that movie now. But that was another one that was like pretty heavily overproduced.
Yeah, I mean, I'm crossing my fingers that it stays very good. I mean, this thing's not coming out till November.
yeah. So very, very long wait.
Very long wait.
But it wasn't a full trailer, so maybe that's what they just wanted to plant the seed in everyone's mind. And
yeah. And I think the songs are going to be great. Or at least like I know the songs are great, but I think hopefully the performances will be great. I mean, we know Ariana can like sing not a single wrong note, so I'm sure all the Belinda songs will like smash.
Yeah. So who's the actress who's playing the witch? Do we know? If she's a good singer or not?
I mean, she's got to be. I think that's her singing at the very end. And when I heard those notes, I was like,
true.
damn.
Yeah, I think that was her. Yeah.
Let's see. Oof. Wicked 2024. If I can click on it, and it's loading and
Just
and
feeling that airtime.
Cynthia Erivo is Elphaba. All right, that's her name, Elphaba.
Alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard of her.
She starred in the Broadway revival of The Color Purple. So she is
she's a true Broadway. Yeah.
We also have Michelle Yeoh as the headmistress.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Goldblum as the wizard, which
I love that. That's
amazing.
Great. Yeah.
And Bowen Yang is going to be in it, who honestly...
Oh, yeah. Okay. He's on SNL, isn't he?
He's definitely one of the more standout cast members of recent SNL. Okay. I like him. I like Bowen Yang.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say he's a standout in this current cast. I mean, I haven't watched a lot of this newer SNL. From what I see, it's not amazing, but he can be funny
good,
sometimes.
But
right? Yeah. Well, cool. I might see this with you. The question mark? I don't know.
You're gonna see it. Yeah. You're gonna like it. You're gonna see it, dude. You used to be the biggest Ariana Grande fan. You were like, dude, 2014 Ariana Grande, just or even like 2012,
Sure, yeah. I listened to her first 2 or 3 albums. Yeah,
you got to show up.
I just haven't been a fan of hers in a while. So yeah, maybe
crazy because she's arguably I don't know. I didn't like her newest single, but she's arguably the best she's ever been. And I
didn't love that new single either.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go on to a trailer that you're really looking forward to. I think a movie that you're excited about.
Ooh. When this came on, people that I was watching the Super Bowl with were like, "Oh my God, is that Twisters?" And because they fucking love Twister. And this is a standalone sequel. It's not. I don't believe.
Oh, it's a sequel.
Yeah, but I don't think it's any of the other cast members. I think it's a completely different story.
Do you think it's the son of one of the characters or something, like Glenn Powell's playing?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, it looked so good. I did not expect a movie like Twisters to be that fucking good looking. And also, Glenn Powell looks great as this kind of tornado wrangling cowboy,
storm watcher, right?
Storm watcher who's
storm chaser,
storm chaser gonna break a tornado.
Yeah, I think that's where I was like, oh, this is gonna be kind of like a stupid movie in a way.
I don't know, the verisimilitude of it being believable is pretty good. I don't think it's that stupid.
Yeah,
and he's got this kind of he's saying something for the crowd to chant, and they're chanting it back, and he's this bigger and towards the end where it's cuts to shots and then black, then cuts to shot. There's shots where he's yelling at the top of his lungs and it looks emotional, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then they're we got twins, and it didn't even feel cheesy. It felt oh shit, there's 2 of them.
That to me was one of the I would maybe disagree with that. I think that's very much monster movie kind of line, but I get it's definitely shot in a way like how Godzilla 1 was shot, where it's very very kind of raw and kind of cinematic feeling. So I think this has got good quality. I'll agree with you on that.
I mean, it's made by Amblin Entertainment, which is Steven Spielberg's company.
True.
And it feels like it's shot very well.
Yeah. How much involvement do you think Spielberg has in this? Because I know he was a huge fan of Top Gun Maverick, which is probably why Glenn Powell's in this.
It doesn't say anything on the Wikipedia. So
okay. So maybe not. But
it's it's still I think quality. If it's made by Amblin, every single time I've seen a movie that's by Amblin, I'm
I feel like you don't see many of those recently,
Yeah, but I feel when you do see it, you're cool.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think this to me has more a potential of me liking it than Wicked. Um, but yeah, I can't say I'm like gun ho excited about this. I think this maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think this would potentially be fun to like sit with a bunch of your friends and like laugh at this movie. But maybe it's not that movie. Maybe it's not.
I
I don't
think
know.
it's gonna be a thriller. Maybe there'll be a little like tongue in cheekness to it, but I think it's straight up gonna be like, this is a thriller. Like you're gonna get like fucking like stressed out
Yeah.
watching it.
It's interesting. I wonder if there's gonna be like a human type antagonist in this, or if it's just gonna like rely solely on the twisters to be antagonists. Like if they just have to stop a storm, you know?
I think it's possible that Glenn Powell's character could be an antagonist, like,
Oh, interesting.
but then it turns into like him working with them somehow.
Right.
But
right.
I do like some of the cast. I know Daisy Edgar Jones is really popular from that that whatever like the almost like Fleetwood Mac show, like something blah 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 on the Six, that was like really big
I haven't heard of
on
it.
Amazon.
Okay.
People were going crazy about it. And
Okay.
then Anthony Ramos, who was in Transformers Rise of the Beast, who
okay.
was actually one of the better parts of that movie.
Was
I
he the
know
main kid?
he was the main kid, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he was in A Star Is Born. I didn't know that. But he was also in the Heights, which I know is also really good. But I like him. He's cool.
Oh, wasn't that Lin-Manuel Miranda movie or whatever? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I recognize him from that. Yeah, I mean, good cast. Yeah, I like Glenn Powell. So
yeah. So I don't know.
when is that one coming out?
Twisters.
Uh-huh.
It is coming out in, I don't know. Oh wait, July 19th, 2024.
Another July. Wow. That's 3 trailers out of wait, is it 3? No, just one. Just two out of 3 trailers coming out in July.
Yeah.
So interesting. Oh, well, and Fantastic Four is coming out next July. So
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. So could be good. Could be. I mean, that sounds like a fun summer movie. I'll say that.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, so next up on our trailer docket is actually a mini series, I want to say.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah, is a mini series.
Mhm.
Coming out on FX called Shogun. This is actually the second time this show's been made.
Yeah.
Based off of a book from the 70s called Shogun. But yeah, it's about this. It's based off of like a real person. I can't remember their name, but basically, this a sailor explorer in the 15 to 1600s crash lands in Japan and basically works his way up to becoming like a samurai. Yeah, and like one of the like top shoguns like armies. And kind of gains that loyalty and respect. And yeah, I think this trailer definitely, like, I think it's high budget for like a TV show. Like you could kind of feel the TV aspects sometimes. But I think if they go the route of like the original and like film it all in Japan and like make it very lifelike, very real, I think this can't really go like too wrong, you know? Like you already have a pretty well-regarded show and a book to like base this off of. And you have a great actor in gosh, what's his name? His name is Hiroyuki Sanada. Yeah, he's a like, I love him. He was you guys would recognize him from Hawkeye and Mortal Kombat. But yeah, he's I think he's a pretty solid actor to base this around. I didn't recognize the main like white guy that crash lands.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe he'll turn out to be something good.
I mean, all I know is people regard the 1980 miniseries as like one of the best things that has ever happened.
Yeah, it was like a 5-parter, I think, or yeah.
And I definitely want to watch it.
Yeah, is there anywhere we can watch that? I don't even know.
There's definitely some place we can watch it.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, FX, I feel like is just killing it nowadays with this. I mean, they've been killing it for a minute, but like this looks really, really good.
It does.
I kind of don't even want to watch the miniseries because I kind of just want to go in blind and be amazed, but I kind of just want to watch the miniseries because I've heard it's amazing.
Maybe I'll watch it after this one comes out and see how they compare.
Because I mean, it is coming out so soon, but then again, like 5 episodes is nothing. And I freaking love a miniseries. I love a contained story that's only like 5 to 8 episodes. Like I don't need multiple seasons, and I don't need them to be like, I mean, even if it's 10 episodes, just like a 1-season thing, like I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I am getting like personally, I'm getting tired of like 6-episode like little seasons. I think I would be much more happy with like 10-episode seasons and even like a limited series, like at least 8 episodes for a limited series.
It does seem that this is going to be 10 though.
Oh, that's amazing! I love that.
2-episode premiere on the 27th of this month.
It'd be kind of cool if they did just like 2 episodes every week, but
they're not.
They won't. Yeah.
But week to week we could do Shogun.
Oh yeah, we haven't done a week-to-week show in a while.
Ooh, It could be fun.
That could be fun. Did you say it was coming out soon?
February 27th.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay. Well, that's less than 2 weeks away. So maybe we will. Yeah.
Freaking X-Men 97 is coming out
in March. Right.
So soon.
Yeah. That's a little over a month away, I think, because it's March 20th. Yeah. So and we got some good shows coming soon.
One of the girls in this trailer is the main girl from Monarch, and she's really good. And
I heard she's like a mystery kind of character. Like you don't really know what's going on with her yet.
In Shogun?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or I'm like the main woman you see in the trailer. Yeah, let me see if there was something said about that.
And I mean, this is like, is this feudal Japan? You know, like is this?
It's 15 to 1600s Japan.
Okay.
So yes, it is. Yeah.
So I mean, I think people freaking love samurais, and I love samurais, and this coming like people love Ghost of Tsushima. Like I know our friend Ryan does.
And I love that too. I played the whole thing.
I just feel like this could be like just so badass to watch.
For sure. I think we're gonna have a good time for sure. I'm trying to think if there's.
What are you looking up?
I'm trying to figure out the woman here. It says she's a woman with invaluable skills but dishonorable family ties who must prove her value and allegiance. I guess she's at odds with the main daimyo guy, who's played by Hiroyuki Sanada.
Okay.
So maybe she's the antagonist? I don't know.
Possibly. I'm kind of curious. I'm going to look up real quick if I can. I might not be able to. But there was a Martin Scorsese movie called Silence, and it was based in Japan, and like they would have the shaved heads down the middle, like kind of like militant like forces. I don't know if this is like same time period, but I don't know if like it'll be the same thing. Like I know there was a lot of like arguments about like Christianity and whatnot. Like I don't know if that plays into the story at all.
I'm sure his own religion would, you know.
Yeah. I don't know, but looks sick.
I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah.
That was I think there had been other trailers before this. We hadn't really heard about it. So
I mean, I've been like listening to people being excited for it, but I just there was nothing out. Right. That I knew of. I don't think.
Yeah, no, this wasn't the first trailer, but
this wasn't the first trailer.
No.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so we missed it somehow, but this looks super dope. So, and I'm kind of excited that we got to see it so soon to the release date, which is nice.
Yeah.
But I think we got one more trailer that we want to talk about, and that would be Godzilla X Kong.
Oh boy.
Yeah. This one is very interesting.
Buckle in. We're just gotta adjust ourselves. This freaking
yeah.
I don't even know what you want to call this. You could call it an abomination, or you could call it the best thing ever.
I think. Look, I'll get to what I was a little disappointed in, I guess, first. I think the only thing I'm really disappointed in is that there's like a few characters from the last movie who are returning, and I was like,
which ones are those?
The main, like, I think the main kind of like bigger janitor, like the black guy,
Brian Tyrese Henry.
Yeah, I don't know his name. But I think he was working with Millie Bobby Brown's character last movie, I want to say.
I believe so.
Yeah, I can't remember. There was one other that I recognized. No, yeah, the kid from who's in touch with Kong.
Oh yeah.
She's returning.
Brian Tyree Henry. Yeah.
So I was like, because from what I heard about this, like it was going to be less like people stories than the last movies. So I hope they still go that route, but I don't know if they will. I mean, I am glad that they don't have any like huge stars at least. So there's that. But yeah, I think visually they're definitely going off of the lore that they established last time. It's very much they're going into the Hollowed Earth stuff. There's a new like orangutan type villain monkey who they have to pit Godzilla and Kong against,
and he's got like long freaking arms. He's swinging this fucking chain, and it looks. I mean, look, there's some stupid things about this trailer. But equally, there's some badass fucking cool things about this trailer.
For sure. I mean, the one I can think of is the was it Kong who like ripped the top half of a building off and like swung it towards Godzilla, or was that the opposite way around?
Oh God, I can't remember.
Yeah,
swung the top half of a building at Godzilla.
Yeah. I think it might be I think Godzilla might have swung the top half of the building towards Kong, and then Kong punched it with his metal hand. And I was like, "Holy shit! This movie's gonna be very fun." I think it's gonna be a lot more fun than the last movie.
It just looks like the last movie was fun.
It was
them fighting on top of those battleships wasn't fun.
It was like 2 minutes. It was like, and then like the final fight was like 5 minutes. It was just like you barely gave us anything. I don't know. I think they need to extend these badass sequences a little more. Or maybe make them more frequent in the throughout the movie.
Godzilla and Kong against Mecha Godzilla fight was pretty fun.
Yeah. Maybe if the movie didn't drag for like an hour and a half before then I wouldn't feel so bummed about it.
Look, it's because you weren't having fun with it. You were taking the story too seriously.
When they show so much story that's not necessary and so many stupid human characters, you can't help but focus on it, and the story is just terrible. So I just need them to get to the actual fun stuff, and then I won't have to focus on the story.
Yeah. Okay. Can we talk about the fact that I thought that metal hand wouldn't necessarily be like an enhancement. I thought it was like, oh, Kong broke his hand. Now he's got this. It seems like,
I think it's an enhancement. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, okay,
still has
whatever.
His axe too. Yeah.
Still got his axe. But he punches that orangutan and his tooth flies out.
It's like pretty badass. Shit. And then obviously we've seen this scene a few times, but like them like running together, like towards whatever. I mean, it's crazy, man. Like the fact that they're teaming up is just so insane. And then you have this quote that came out of like a week ago or something. And I think it was the director who was talking about it. And they were like, it's just been reported that they're going to have Kong and Godzilla are going to have a buddy cop dysfunctional relationship. And I'm like, how do you show a buddy cop relationship without words? Like that's a feat.
Yeah, it's definitely a feat. I think it's possible, I don't know
Sure.
for how long it's possible.
I think you can show that they don't want to work together really, but like they have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, Buddy
But
Cop is interesting.
It's crazy seeing Godzilla run like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like in that first movie, he was pretty slow, right? I mean, yeah, they made him very much a gigantic, slow moving beast. So they've definitely upped everything since then.
We're definitely like in a whole new like
yeah
way of the world, how the world works. Like we've so far gone, have left, 2014 Godzilla
for sure,
you know,
yeah,
and that's fine,
Yeah, it is, and they know what the audience wants.
I like the idea that because 2014 Godzilla was a bit too dour in a lot of ways.
Sure. Not enough Godzilla either.
Not enough Godzilla. And I think that, we had like stuff like Godzilla -1. We got the seriousness. It's kind of fun to have like this really just because there was a time period where
like fun, stupid, right?
Because we still had like all the Rodan and the monsters and all that stuff from the old Godzilla movies where it was goofy,
right?
And there's always goofy and serious times with Godzilla, and we're just in one of those phases right now where.
But we're in a phase where we get both because we have Godzilla -1 and this coming so like close to each other.
And I mean, like stuff like Monarch in the same universe, just kind of like makes it this, kind of more serious thing, even though like these ridiculous things are happening.
Did they put out maybe like arguably the most serious thing since like 2014, like on Apple TV last year? Was it last year, December or January this year? I can't remember.
Yeah.
And then they go turn around and do the most insane thing they've ever done. And it's great. I like
the idea that they're being like the Titans are the defenders of nature. And then they're calling them the great apes were the defenders of humans. And it feels like either we're getting flashbacks to like multiple apes like around that like orangutan, or that is actually currently happening. And
like all the baby things, all the baby like monkeys or what?
Well, there were baby monkeys, but there was also like a whole like almost like little mini stadium of like apes.
Oh yeah.
And I'm true. And they're talking about like war, and I'm like, is it a war? Like
there might be a Hollow Earth war. Who knows?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But also it seems like there's that red orangutan ape, and then there's something else, with the eyes. They showed like in the darkness that there's these like two lit up eyes. So I feel like
you don't think that was the same being? No. Okay.
I think we're gonna have like a tag team, like
a 2v2. Okay.
Either that or like at one point like they'll like tag each other in and like go rest
No, they can't. They can't do that. You can't. Like they don't know the concept of a tag. Like there's no way.
They might be like, you're off. But he's like, I got you.
Oh my God. That'd be the most insane thing the movie could ever do, which is saying something.
Look, they are missing like the best thing that they could ever do if they don't do that. Like I feel like they have to do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Like
I'd love to see it.
And he's like,
sure.
I got you.
Look, the stupider the better, honestly. So,
but that's what I was saying about the last movie, and you didn't like it.
It's not like them going stupid isn't what made it bad. Look, yes, I don't like the Hollowed Earth, but I can get past that. I can get past that now.
Monarch makes the Hollowed Earth really work.
Okay,
you just have to watch it.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it. Definitely before this movie comes out, I'll watch it. Yeah, those are our thoughts on the trailers this week. I think we were pretty positive. I want to say.
Yeah.
Better than most weeks, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we actually have 2 topics left. I think we accidentally only put down 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if you want to go into the leaked logo that came out.
Yeah. So Captain America 4 New World Order is is it currently being reshot right now?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay, so it's currently being reshot, and there was a crew jacket because, when you work on a movie set, a lot of times they have jackets and shirts and memorabilia that they give the crew to wear. And on one side of the shirt, it said the name of the movie and the logo, and the New World Order part says it's in red, which doesn't necessarily mean anything. But
wait, did it say New World Order or Brave New World?
Sorry, Brave New World. Sorry.
Okay. All good.
I keep thinking about that. I keep thinking it's a New World Order.
Cooler title, but yeah.
Cooler title, but anti-Semitism.
Sure.
So
yeah, I get it.
But on the other side of it, there is a logo of sorts where it is the Captain America shield, but grabbing it is a red hand. That is, if we want to think that it's, a hand grabbing the actual shield, it would be a pretty large fucking hand, and it looks like a large fucking hand.
Yep.
And it's very red.
And it looks kind of hulky, to be honest.
And it looks kind of hulky.
Yeah.
And so this, along with a toy leak of a Lego set that had come out previously where they did have a Red Hulk figure in it, I feel like it's kind of safe to assume that we're getting a Red Hulk in Harrison Ford's Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, which I was hearing the opposite at one point, that this movie wasn't going to introduce the Red Hulk and it would come later down the line. But in a way, it makes sense why they needed Thunderbolt Ross for this movie, and had to recast. So. Yeah, I think that's pretty badass. I don't know how a normal human is supposed to stand up to the Hulk.
Exactly.
Right.
So my thinking is either I feel like they can't be at odds. Maybe they'll be at odds with it. I mean, I feel like from some of the synopsises, it says that they'll be at odds.
It looks like they will be. Even a behind the set picture kind of showed them kind of at odds, I think, playfully.
But maybe they're I'm going to do my thing. And then Sam Wilson's no, you got to do it this way. And they're not necessarily fighting. But because I don't know what even Steve Rogers' Captain America does against a Hulk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. We've never seen his threats have been super soldiers.
But even Steve Rogers against Bruce Banner, there's
I agree.
Way
there's no way
he stands a chance.
And Steve Rogers had the super soldier serum. So
exactly.
and Sam Wilson doesn't have any of that. So he stands less of a chance. So yeah,
maybe they
I don't know,
team up together somehow. I don't know. Or I honestly don't have no idea. I mean, obviously they have they have a story, but it's kind of crazy.
It is. Especially for his first villain. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it works. Maybe I just don't see. I just don't see how logically. I mean, he would have to kill him in his human form,
But could you? Because Bruce Banner, commits suicide and then the Hulk spits out the bullet.
You're right. So yeah, I mean, you would just piss it off probably. So yeah, I'm very curious. I think the logo itself was pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, the logo is pretty fun.
Hopefully they'll use it on other things. But yeah, maybe this is part of the reshoots. Maybe they pivoted to this type of villain after everything. I don't know.
I don't know, but I do think it's interesting that we get Betty Ross and God, what's his name?
The guy at the end of the Incredible Hulk, 2008. Yeah.
Who's gonna play the Master?
Yes. Yeah.
Or the leader. I'm sorry, not the Master. The leader. And Tim Blake Nelson.
Okay. Yeah.
So it is cool. Now it's starting to make more sense that why are we having these Hulk characters?
We also, I don't know if you saw that, but Mark Ruffalo had done an interview where he was oh yeah, I'm I'll the Hulk, I will be in Captain America 4. And then like a day later, or like maybe later that day, like it was like redacted. Basically, like they reached back out and were like, no, like that was misspoken. Like he didn't say that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. I still believe he could be in that, in this movie. So maybe this is more of a Hulk movie than it is a Captain America movie.
Which is like would feel like a problem.
It would bum me out. It would bum me out. Yeah. I mean, like, yes, I want more Hulk stuff, but not at the expense of like Captain America 4, you know?
Yeah. And also, I don't want to see Bruce. I don't want to see Hulk the way that he is right now.
I mean, you would also logically have to show his son, right? Like, because they introduced him at the end of She-Hulk. So, yeah, I mean, there's so many Hulk characters that could potentially be in this. Yeah, I hope they just keep it to Red Hulk and Leader, but maybe Betty Ross. But
it surprises me that Harrison Ford would sign up to do like this character that would do all this CGI stuff, and also has to stick around. Like, I don't know, can Harrison Ford even like live long enough to do like Thunderbolts?
It's a little morbid, but yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah, I honestly thought that like we wouldn't see Red Hulk until Thunderbolts. So I think that's why I was like, oh, well, that's why Harrison Ford signed on to this, because he doesn't have to do a big CGI like monster or whatever. But now that sounds like most of what he'd be doing in this movie. So
potentially,
I don't know.
But
it's interesting.
I will say, I think one of the glaring omissions from the Thunderbolts lineup that like people were like, well, where's Red Hulk? Maybe
but do you need another super soldier type? I mean, you already have 3 of them.
He's not even he's a fucking weapon of mass destruction.
But they are like super soldiers gone wrong. The Hulks.
Yeah, but I kind of like that they're all kind of these things gone wrong.
No, I do too. But like all I'm saying is like Thunderbolt already has 3 super soldiers. You would be adding like a 4th gone wrong, and I'm just like,
Well, I mean, you got Bucky, you got Yelena, you got Red Guardian, and then you could include Taskmaster in that. And actually, no, you add in Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I was just talking about the super soldiers.
Yeah, I mean, Taskmaster, kind of a super soldier in her own way.
How? She didn't take the serum.
Okay, well, 4, because you got Walmart Captain America.
Wait, Yelena isn't a super soldier either.
Fine. I
said 3. I think I was right with my 3.
I just kind of count them because they do have like they're just better. Like they just got fucking power. Like Yelena might as well be a super soldier sometimes. I feel like, you know, she's I know she's
good with her.
She's just really good.
Skills,
okay.
Yeah.
But yes, I get it. Yes.
Yeah. So
I mean, Bucky, does Bucky have the super soldier serum?
He has it.
He does? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why he's able to fight Captain America.
I thought it was because of his arm.
I think the arm is just kind of part of him or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah. No, like I think it's an interesting direction. We'll have to see when the movie comes out.
Yeah.
If this works at all. Yeah. But yeah, last up here, last up, we wanted to talk about the thing James Gunn commented on earlier this week. Basically, an article came out, kind of detailing a few leaks for the DC universe that's upcoming. So I'll list all 4 real quick. One is that Darren Aronofsky is in talks to direct Plastic Man. Second, Teen Titans film is in early development. The third, a Sergeant Rock film is in development. And then fourth, an open casting call for a character in the Supergirl movie is happening at the moment. And then he said to that at least one of these stories isn't true. At least. And I had read it that just one of these stories wasn't true. So I'm a little bummed about that like 3 of them could be wrong. But yeah, let's get into them. I think these are pretty interesting leaks. I didn't know much about Sergeant Rock until I read about him before the podcast. I don't think he's like that interesting of a character, but maybe he fits into like Creature Commandos somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think that's the only logical conclusion.
Which he seems like one of those like not well-known obscure characters that somebody like James Gunn would be very drawn to. Which, by the way, when I was in New York, we stopped by like the Manhattan Comics, like in Times Square, and I don't know if you remember, there was that kind of like coffee table sort of collection book that James Gunn had put out earlier this year of like the weird obscure characters. I got that, and I mean, sick. There's some crazy fucking characters. Like there's like Chlorophyll Kid, and it's just
that's a crazy one. Yeah. Well, yeah, you'll have to send me the link to that or something.
Oh, I love it. It's a great one. It's a great pick. Yeah, but okay, so that one's kind of plausible, right?
It is plausible. I think if I were to pick one that I didn't want to happen, I would be okay with that not happening. Because we already have a whole group of Creature Commandos. But if it fits in with that, then fine. And then the other being an open casting call. You said it was for the narrator of the Supergirl movie, possibly.
The character in the comic, like the Woman of Tomorrow comics, like Ruthier or something. Like I guess people really like her. She was a big part of that comic, obviously. And it's like an open casting call that people are auditioning for.
Right. So
which I feel like that one's got to be true.
Yeah, because they just cast for Supergirl. Like it sounds, I mean, and if it is true, it sounds like that's going into production somewhat soon. Like maybe at the end of this year, if they're already casting for it, like early 2024. So yeah, I think that, I mean, I have no problem with that being true. I think that's kind of exciting if it is. So yeah, the third one, that we discussed. Well, I guess it doesn't matter which one, but I think it's the weirdest on this list is Darren Aronofsky in talks to direct Plastic Man. I don't think I've ever really seen a Darren Aronofsky film. But I know they're not the most fun movies, right? Like I know he recently did The Whale. I think he did Mother as well. And I know those are pretty intense movies. And The Whale I know was a very sad one. So I know like Plastic Man in particular is a pretty funny character. Right. So I don't understand why he would be in talks to direct Plastic Man. But
so yeah, to be fair, I've only seen Noah and The Whale. But you know, people love Pi, people love The Wrestler, people love Black Swan. But none of those are like comedic movies, you know? No. Yeah. But there's an idea that, and I'll say this, originally, like we were talking about last week, people like John Krasinski, Bill Hader, Jordan Peele, people who are like funny, and then they do this really serious kind of scary stuff.
So you're saying the opposite.
It's possible, you know, like we have, you know, the director of the Hangover series does the Joker. One of the ideas being floated around is that Plastic Man would be more of a like body horror kind of situation.
Okay. Interesting.
Which could be very cool, and
it would definitely be a very interesting take for the universe. Yeah, it's a very new take on the character almost.
Yeah, I mean, I remember in like Injustice, like that, like people were like nervous about the fact that Superman had taken Plastic Man's son, because they were all like, he could kill us all. Like Plastic Man could kill us all.
Oh wow!
Because he's he's like that. Like his whole body can turn into
he can take the form of anything. Right?
Yeah. So it's possible. I think out of all of these, it's probably the least likely.
Yes.
But also the fact that like it's this specific, like Darren Aronofsky with this other like very specific, like kind of weird character. I'm like, maybe there's something to it. But off the bat, I'm like, this one's probably not true.
Probably. And if it is, that is insane.
But I kind of love it.
Yeah. It's an interesting choice. I'll give him that. It's definitely not one I would have picked, but
yeah.
James Gunn does a lot of things that I think are surprising that end up being great. So,
because I mean, here's the thing: James Wan, known for Conjuring movies, Saw, makes Aquaman.
Sure, but there are horror elements in Aquaman.
Sure, and there could be horror and psychological thriller elements to Plastic Man.
Sure, it's possible. Yeah. Well, the one obviously I want to happen the most is the Teen Titans movie that is in early development. Now, if I had to pick ones that were probably not like super plausible, it's probably this one. I don't know like the kind of like love he has for Titans. Like I know James Gunn is more of a Doom Patrol guy.
But I think like Teen Titans, especially like at the height of their popularity, was like 80s, and that definitely seems to be like a lot of the inspiration that James has been taking from is like 80s DC. So it's plausible. Well,
but at that point, it would be a much different lineup than like what we have. Maybe not much different, but like the original Teen Titans lineup had like Kid Flash, and I mean obviously Robin was still a part of it. But yeah, you had Superboy. I want to say it was mainly like the Justice League sidekicks at first, and then it kind of transformed into what we know for the show.
Yeah, I mean you got Kid Flash, you got Wonder Girl,
right.
Starfire and Beast Boy and Raven. So I mean it's not too different.
No, it's not too different.
And Cyborg. So
okay. Yeah, I mean, and they, and for all the faults of the Titans show, they did kind of like add in all of those characters at some point, except Kid Flash.
And most notably Aqualad.
Aqualad was, he was our boy, man. Rest in peace.
Fucking Aqualad.
But yeah, no, like I think I would be down to see almost any iteration of the Teen Titans. I'd love to see a 1-for-1 of the show, to be honest. That's my favorite. I think that's most people's favorites. But I don't know. Maybe
Wait, you mean of the animated show?
Yes. The animated show. Sorry, I should have specified. But yeah, I don't know. I think the fact that he didn't like plan this movie out in his first like 10 projects, I just don't know if it makes it into his phase 1.
Yeah. I don't like you said, because it's not really a part of the first phase, and like we do.
Neither is Plastic Man, but
but like we don't have like, yes, we have Robin. But here's the thing: like I was reading an article that was like, well, here's the possibilities of like why this could happen. It's like, well, we have Supergirl coming out. I was like, Supergirl wasn't really a part of Teen Titans. No. That's more like Young Justice, if anything.
I think what's more telling is that like the Robin we're getting is Damian.
Exactly.
Like, and so that already sets up like it's mainly like the Robin that's mainly in Teen Titans is Dick Grayson. But I think you could like establish Dick Grayson already as Nightwing, and maybe another Robin, like maybe Jason or Tim is the Robin of like the leader of the Teen Titans.
Yeah. Because I think like Tim is the leader of the Teen Titans in the animated show that we like.
Is he?
I think so, because like Nightwing, like I believe Nightwing.
No. Okay, go on.
Like I know at least in Teen Titans Go, like Nightwing is another character.
So, but in the original Teen Titans, he like they show them in the future, and he does become Nightwing. So I do believe that is Dick Grayson in the original. Okay. Maybe it isn't in the Teen Titans Go. I could believe that he's Jason or Tim in that.
Huh. I mean, I like Tim the best, so I'll go.
Yeah, you're a Tim guy. Yeah.
But yeah, so like Supergirl, they were saying, oh, a Blue Beetle because we already have Blue Beetle. And I was like,
okay, here's the thing.
That's like Young Justice.
No. In recent like animated versions of like they've done some Teen Titans movies, and Blue Beetle has been in like 2 of 3 recent Teen Titans movies. So he is becoming like more and more of a Teen Titans character. So look, I think yeah, that could be a possibility. Maybe they add Blue Beetle. I do like when he works with the Teen Titans. So,
but the other thing is like, if you're gonna do Teen Titans, like I want teens. You know what I mean? And like Sholo.
But what if they just did the Titans?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. But like Sholo is not a teen. And also like we're saying
Sholo?
The actor that plays Blue Beetle.
Oh. Yeah,
like,
but even he feels like it.
Yeah, but even the characters in college, or like just graduated college.
Yeah, you're right.
And but okay, I'm gonna say I don't think it's in development.
Yeah, look, I think there are signs that, like you're saying, could point to it, but most likely it's not. But I do think it's a smart route for that universe to go. Like I think like MCU developing a Young Avengers so late is kind of a bummer. Like I wish we had seen that maybe earlier on in the universe, and now we might get like a young Justice League in a sense. I know that's Young Justice, but this would be an equivalent kind of. So. I don't know. It'd be neat. I'd like it. Yeah.
I don't know.
It'd be nice.
It's possible. It's possible.
It is.
Like I think the Damian being Robin doesn't like rule it out entirely.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
But I don't think Supergirl would be a part of it at all.
Not a chance. No.
Yeah.
No. Like if anything, that just breaks the like that's why I didn't like Superboy in Titans in a sense, because it like. The power level of the group was insane at that point, like you got to scale back a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I want it to happen, but I get it if it doesn't. So, but yeah, that's, I think that's all the topics we had this week. We are, I know we're running close to that hour and a half mark, but we can talk about some things we watched this past week if you'd like.
Yeah. So, this will be our What We Watch segment. And,
yes, sir.
I watched the reissue of Dune yesterday in the theaters.
Oh, nice.
Which also means that I got to see some extra footage of Dune 2 before it comes out.
Oh, that's cool. How's the footage?
Oh my God. Oh,
my God.
You're not you're not ready. The scene was the sandworm riding scene. And,
wow. Okay.
Like it was equally terrifying as it was glorious and like triumphant.
Nice.
And you're like I know it's on a screen, but I was genuinely terrified when it was like, when you see it coming, I'm like,
sick.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, rewatching the movie was
in theaters. I'm sure it's amazing. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like I just can't get over how good it is, and I just can't get bored of it. Like I'm just endlessly just so like entertained, and I just love how well they like Denny like just fucking nailed it. I mean, it's so good.
Nice. I hope he gets to make his 3rd movie.
I do too. I think without a doubt, like he'll be able to if he wants to.
Yeah, this movie will be successful enough.
This movie will be so successful.
Yeah.
And besides that, I forgot to mention last week I saw there's a documentary by a New Zealand filmmaker / journalist that I really like, but whose name is David Farrier, and it's called Mr. Organ, and it finally came out on Netflix. And it's hard to describe what it's about, but it's about a guy named Mr. Organ who he starts off as just this guy who's like clamping people's cars for this older lady who like they park on her parking lot, and they charge you like $900 to get your car unclamped.
Okay.
And he's also like pretended to be royalty, and he's, you know, stolen people's boats, and like also like, you know, and you're like, who is this guy? So he starts to talk to him, and then like this dude's like getting into like David's like personal life and like doing some scary things, and like people who tell you like have come into contact are like, you should stop talking to him. And it turns into this whole thing, and it's crazy. Like it's really good.
Nice.
It's really
What's it
good.
on?
And it's about a Netflix.
Okay.
But it's definitely showcases people that exist in this world that are it's kind of scary that they exist.
Like psychopaths, right? Sociopaths,
sort of. I mean, I'll say we had one of them as president for a while.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Huge ego. Yeah.
You'll see if you watch it. I think you should watch it. It's really good. The whole time, I was just like, "Fuck!" So
sick.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Well, yeah. So I think we'll review this next week. But I finished Echo this week. Yeah. You know, it's a show. I'll save my thoughts. I also watched The Marvels, which I mentioned earlier. It's a movie, you know.
No,
you know?
Oh, that sucks.
It's not bad. It's just like very mid, you know. It's just like it definitely takes goofiness to that level. Story is
like Thor: Love and Thunder level.
No, I wouldn't say that, but it's not like insanely far off. And then plot is okay. The villain is pretty forgettable, bad.
Do you remember their name?
Dar-Ben. Yeah.
Okay. Because I know some people were like, who even was this?
Yeah. No, she's so forgettable for sure. So I think it's got a really cool like ending. Like I like the the fight with all three of them, and like they're fighting Dar-Ben. Easily the best part of that movie, but they like it's such a small part. Like what you saw in the trailers, there's not like a ton more than that for that fight.
See, and like when I look at that fight, I was looking at it like they were like promoting it on Disney Plus for like a commercial, and I was like, that fight looks like it's shot so cheaply. Like it looks so like,
I mean, it's just them like fully like working together and like knowing how and when the switches happen. It's like I think that's the strongest part of that. And then you know the ending. I won't spoil like too much for you. But you know, obviously you know that like Monica goes into the X-Men universe. I don't know if you know about the other character who's there besides Beast. Like even I didn't know about this until I watched it. So I was like, oh, that's neat.
No, but I don't really care. Who is it?
It's so it's like Monica's mother, Maria.
Oh, I know about that.
Right. And so she's binary is what they call her. Which is basically like another like level of power like for Captain Marvel. So she then is called binary at that point.
Okay.
So she's clearly like maybe the most powerful being in that X-Men universe. So I'm curious if we're gonna see her in the Deadpool 3 movie. If not, then I'm just very like confused as to where like those three characters are. But you know, I think it was a neat ending. I'll give it that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Did they always have that planned where Monica would go to this other universe? I don't know. Maybe that was like a late stage thing to get people interested in the movie. I don't know, but I think it like if those three appear in Deadpool 3, I think it works really, like it makes a lot of sense for that ending, because it is the movie that came out before Deadpool.
Yeah,
So.
maybe. I don't think it's gonna happen though.
You don't even think Beast would be in it?
Maybe
Like
Beast, but like I feel like adding whatever the plot line to like the Marvels is to Deadpool, just like I just don't think. I think it would be too much.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, yeah, the last thing I watched this week, I actually watched the first 3 Mission Impossible movies.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I've been home. I've been I had a surgery. I've been locked here basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I think they're very, like, all 3 of them are pretty different from each other. Weirdly enough, like I think the first one came out in 96, the second one in 2000, and then the third one in 2006. And the first one, I mean, I love the first one. So good. It's really well filmed. It's got a really great like mystery kind of action spy story. The actual Mission Impossible about it is really cool. But then the second one, like John Woo directs the second one, and it's like an action movie, like balls to the wall. Like
Nice.
I mean, like I don't think that's like I don't think it's a good thing. Like I would have much preferred that first style, but like there's just there's shootouts and explosions and chase scenes like every other scene, and the directing is great. Like there's intense zoom ins and zoom outs, and it's just like it's clearly a 2000s movie. It's got like the Mission Impossible theme song.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun,
So they
dun,
do it in like a guitar, like a So it's like a hard rock kind of like badass feel.
Yeah.
So I think it's just fun one to like watch with friends, I'm sure. And then the third one kind of goes back in a sense to that, like that first kind of style where it's like much more grounded in a sense and like much more serious. Definitely doesn't like knock out the story, but it's like it's a pretty good one. So no, I mean it was an enjoyable spy trilogy. And then I got 4 more to watch.
Well, guess who directed the third one?
Was it John Woo?
No.
Okay. Who
J.J. Abrams.
Really? Okay. I don't think I would have guessed that. But here's the thing, it does feel somewhat similar to like Super 8 that came out like not too long after that. Like style wise. So interesting. I don't think it hit his style yet, but it's definitely not a badly filmed movie. Like it's pretty well shot.
Well, have you seen Fallout?
No, I haven't. Oh wait. That's the 6th one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that. that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a great one. Yeah.
God, Fallout's so good.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to getting to Dead Reckoning when I get to it.
Yeah, me too. Because now we can watch it.
Again. Oh yeah. Nice. That's on
Paramount.
Okay. Yeah, I've been watching all of them on Paramount. So
nice.
Yeah. But that's all I've watched this week. Yeah. Apologies that it took a while to go through, but been watching a lot. But yeah, so we want to say thank you as always for tuning in and watching and listening to us. We usually release on Fridays and Saturdays unless we have some technical difficulties and or some physical difficulties, and hopefully neither of those
hernias removed.
Yeah, no big deal. But yeah, so hopefully we're on time this week. But if you want to listen to us in the future, we release our audio versions on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Podbean. And if you want to listen or watch us on video, we release on YouTube. Our socials are in the description below, like our links to our audio channels and video channels. And if you want to support us one more time, we always appreciate a like, a comment, a rating, a review, or a subscribe.
And with that said, until next time.